Okay, you guys, this is going to be short. Let me see. It is 5:37 in the morning. I just now saw the video that Signorelli put out yesterday with regard to Greg Locke's shooting that he had at his house. Signorelli just gaslit the whole Christian community. He absolutely just gaslit the whole world. And I want to give you guys the truth, okay? Because we all saw it. We all saw it happen. Now, Signorelli in this video is out here blaming the heresy hunters for this shooting that happened at Greg Locke's house, and it had nothing to do with it. Signorelli also spoke about how he went viral. This is what the guy does. He toots his own horn every chance he gets. He went viral when he spoke to Ruslan about when he went off at the comment section, how they attacked him when he did the interview. He said he went viral over that. He's trying to go viral again now. This is the guy's game. This is the guy's game. He's an attention whore. That's what he is. He's an attention whore. And the truth just escapes him. Now, here's the truth of what happened as I see it. And as a matter of fact, Ruslan did a little piece on this too. And Ruslan is a friend of Signorelli's, but at least Ruslan has some common sense. Ruslan attributed what happened at Greg Locke's house to because Greg Locke is so deeply embedded in the political scene. His take on it is that this is political. Somebody on the internet or on Greg Locke's page also said this is the Democrats doing this to Greg Locke. This is what they're doing. Well, that's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. Let's get to some truth here. Because what Signorelli is doing, he's trying to guilt all the discernment ministers out here, saying that it's their fault that this happened. And he's calling them demons. He's also calling me a demon. Isn't that sweet? He also made a comment that why do you listen to people whose videos only get 400 views? Because he's gone viral so many times. Well, ask yourself, why is he going viral? Other than the fact that he's an attention whore, why is he going viral? You see, he went to Lovi Elias for impartation of Lovi's demons because he wanted the powers that Lovi had, and he wanted the money and the wealth that Lovi had. And Lovi very graciously gave him his demons, as he did Daniel Adams, as he did Isaiah Saldivar, as he did Alexander Pagani, as he did Vlad Savchuk and all of Vlad Savchuk's pastors, as he did to Greg Locke. And this is the key to what happened at Greg Locke's house. I warned Greg Locke when he first got involved with these demon slayers to turn around and get away from these people, that they were bad news. I warned him back then. What were the sequence of events that have happened to Greg Locke since he got involved with the demon slayers? These people idolize demons, so understand their world is darkness. They are agents of the Antichrist. What happened to Greg Locke since he got involved with the demon slayers? Well, number one, he made that movie, Come Out in Jesus' Name, and he involved in that movie Daniel Adams and Leon Dupreez, who are both warlocks. That was number one. And because these people, Daniel Adams and Leon Dupreez, were friends of the demon slayers, that was number one, the introduction to the darkness. Because before that, Greg Locke was a Baptist pastor. He wasn't involved in the darkness, not to this level. He was absolutely asleep, and he was a trumpet, but he wasn't involved in the darkness to this level. So that was his first experience, having the warlocks being brought into his awareness. What happened next? He was introduced to Lovi Elias. He went to Revelation Church. He got impartation in person from Lovi Elias. And then he spent his own confession, Greg Locke's own confession from the stage of his church. He spent hours and hours and hours on FaceTime speaking to Lovi Elias about the occult. The man is demonically possessed. Greg Locke is demonically possessed. I have told you, he's a warlock. What happened to Greg Locke? Well, he started doing deliverance. People from all over the world were coming to his church. He started bringing in buku bucks. Well, this is what Lovi's demons do. Why? Because the devil said, worship me, and I will give you all the kingdoms of the earth. Well, this is what has happened to these people. They have made a deal with the devil. So what happened next? Greg Locke stood on the stage of his church and he rebuked Lovi publicly after Lovi so graciously shared his demons with Greg Locke. He rebuked Lovi publicly and told everybody that he was a warlock. Lovi didn't like that. But at least publicly, Lovi didn't say or do anything. Then we got to the place where Greg Locke started reading books on witchcraft. He made another video regarding Lovi Elias. At that point, he turned around and said, outright called Lovi a witch doctor, said that he had him under some witchcraft spell, and turned around and said that people were coming to talk to him about Lovi, and he had receipts. He didn't go too deep into this, but we got the idea that something bad was going on behind the scenes between Lovi, Daniel Adams, and some other people. And Greg Locke had receipts. He didn't say anything after that. The next thing we hear is that Lovi challenges Greg Locke to a showdown of who's the better prophet. Greg Locke took high offense to that because his massive ego would not allow Lovi to say anything like that about him. So what did he do? He came back in a tirade on the stage of his church, and here is where this demon, Mike Signorelli, needs to be exposed for the pathological liar that he is and the gaslighter that he is. Greg Locke stood on the stage of his church screaming that he had receipts on Lovi, Daniel Adams, and other people. They were sex trafficking and that Lovi was cheating on his wife. Do you all remember this? Do you all remember this? By the way, where was Mike Signorelli? Mike Signorelli made a big deal in this video that nobody should speak out against the man of God, against the anointed. Where was Mike Signorelli making a video telling Greg Locke that he should not speak about Lovi Elias and Daniel Adams that way? Where was Mike Signorelli then? Well, he was nowhere to be found. That was a nice thank you to Lovi after he shared his demons with Mike Signorelli too. So what Greg Locke said on the stage of his church was, these people, he has receipts. He has receipts. And he was going to expose everything. And these were Greg Locke's words. He said, he does not care if they come after him and try to kill him. He's willing to die for the faith. Those were his exact words. Go back and look at the video. Now, The really stupid thing is he's not dying for the faith. He's dying for his ego. He's dying for the devil. He's not dying for Christ because he's not an apostle. The man had an affair with his secretary and divorced his wife of 20 years while he was a pastor of a church. He doesn't even qualify to be a pastor, let alone an apostle. Where did he get this ridiculous idea that he should become an apostle? Well, he got that from his buddy, the demon, Mike Signorelli, who fancies himself to be a prophet. He is the prophet that I read you about from Ezekiel 13 yesterday. That's who Mike Signorelli is. The Lord does not speak to him. He also wanted you to believe in this video that he put out that the Lord showed his daughter, who he's calling a prophet now too. The Lord showed his daughter a house being shot up, and she walked around saying Psalm 91 twice. So she had a prophetic vision of what was going to happen. She didn't know it was Greg Locke's house, but she had a prophetic vision that a house was going to be shot up. Yeah, good one. Good one. I guess he's teaching her how to be a narcissist too. So for everybody out here, let's understand the truth. Greg Locke has stood on the stage of his church. He has called out Lovi Elias and Daniel Adams, accusing them of sex trafficking and at least for Lovi, cheating on his wife, and said he has receipts and he's getting ready to expose them. He hasn't showed anything. So all he's done is actually accused Lovi and Daniel of something very horrific without evidence. What else happened here? Greg Locke had a whole trailer full of Bibles burnt down about a month or so ago. He didn't learn from that, because it was after that he came out and said he was willing to die for his faith if they came after him. Well, he's not dying for his faith. He's dying for his demons, because he's involved in the demonic realm. And this is what I've been telling you all, why you all need to get away from these deliverance ministries. They don't come from Christ. And Signorelli wanted to make the comment about people out here on disability and don't even work, but they sit behind their computer making videos. I will have that animal know that I have worked 2 and 3 jobs my entire adult life, helping people as a nurse. And even right now, although I am on disability, I get up at 5 o'clock every morning and I work a legitimate job. I don't get up there like him and his buddies and scam people for their money. I work a legitimate job. And I am imploring all of the discernment ministries, keep on doing what you're doing. You need to hold these demons accountable to the word. So all this theatrics that Signorelli did in this video is to try to go viral again, using Greg Locke, his incident, the shooting as his house. This is what kind of lowlife this guy is. He's using the shooting at Greg Locke's house to try to go viral again. You all need to get away from that guy. As I told you, it is the agents of the Antichrist that are calling for the peace, the kumbaya. This is exactly what you're hearing from Signorelli. We are in the last days. There will not be peace. There will not be peace. Because as you're seeing, these people are not preaching the Bible, and it's going to be the remnant that are holding people accountable to the Bible. There will not be peace. And actually, there never has been peace. That was an illusion. I'm going to leave this here, you guys. I don't want to belabor the point. I have been out here for 2 years telling you who Mike Signorelli is, and he just exposed himself. He just exposed himself. What happened at Greg Locke's house had nothing to do with discernment ministries or what he's calling heresy hunters. Greg Locke brought this on himself because of his massive ego. He brought this on himself. And where was Mike Signorelli telling Greg Locke that he should not defame Lovi Elias and Daniel Adams? Where was Mike Signorelli? Crying for peace. Where was Mike Signorelli crying for peace when Greg Locke stood on the stage of his church in front of millions of people that he has watching his YouTube page? Where was Mike Signorelli crying for peace from Greg Locke, telling him not to defame Lovi Elias and Daniel Adams? Where was he? He was nowhere to be found. But he very happily took Lovi's demons and used them. This is who this guy is, and you all better wake up. That's it. I'm ending this here. Have a blessed day. Some of us have to go to work.